woman, she was a teacher. She was like a bomb teacher in New York. Can y'all hear me okay? I know off the mic.
Get on field.
We good? And she was recruited by one school that this principal wanted her to come and teach at because the particular students who had been kind of moved up from freshman to sophomore as just merit. They weren't even passing classes. He had a problem with him. He said, this teacher, who was the bombardier on the school, he said, look, if you come and teach for me for this 1 year to help me get these students on track, I'll give you guys as much money as you want or whatever. So she came, right? First semester, the only thing she could do is get the students to sit down and read the newspaper. They was wilding, they was juking in classroom, they was doing everything just to distract from learning. But she believed in these students. So she asked the principal, right, look, can I look at their test scores? Because I know they have to take a test to get up in this school. Can I look at their test scores, before next semester? So at the Christmas break, the principal said, look, I'm not supposed to let you look at it, but I'm going to let you go on and take a look at it. And then she said, all right, so it's in this manila folder. So she goes to the manila folder, finds the test scores. She sees her students' names in it. So she sees test scores like at 300, 390, 220. She's like, oh, heck no. These students are smarter than they really are portraying. So she began the next semester, after Christmas break came around, she began to teach them in their potential. She wouldn't let them get away with nothing. By the middle of that first semester, they was on student government. They was serving over here. They was jumping off all kind of unique programs over this way. End of the school year, the principal had these students were at 4.0, 3.0, 3.5. They was rocking it versus with no grades, 0.1 from last year. The principal said, yo, how'd you do this? How'd you do this? She said, well, when you let me look at the test scores, I realized that these students were smarter than they really were. So I just began to teach them in their potential. They grabbed onto it and began to, be educated. He said, wait a minute, there was a manila folder in my office that you looked at? Yeah, it was right on the desk. He said, that was not their test scores, that was their locker numbers. And here's the trick. Here's the trick. You live in a world that only looks at you, like a man said, like a number. It only looks at you as a locker number. And they market to you, and they pimp you, and they portray you as something that you're really not. And if you're not careful, you will buy into it. You will buy into it. I've been in ministry with young people for 21 years. I'm married 24. I got 3 children. I got son 22, daughter 20, who's in college. My son's at this IC Stars program. You've heard of it. It's a tight little program. And my daughter's a junior. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, in the projects, did ministry in Kansas City, moved here in 93 to be the youth pastor of Lawndale Community Church, where I'm now the associate pastor and then senior pastor of a church called The House, an all-teen and young adult hip-hop church. Then we just bought an abandoned fire station in which we're going to convert it into a community arts center. We have a program at CCA, one perhaps next year at Manly, called Fulfilling the Dream, and at Lawndale Little Village High School, helping young people understand hip-hop values and then changing the way in which they think about themselves. But here's the thing. I don't make no money. I ain't here to tell you, I wish I could tell you that, I'm doing this and doing it, and I applaud those who are, and I want that to happen. But I'm telling you that there are some things in your life and in your heart that you just got to do. And I believe in young people so much that I've given my whole life, my 2 undergrad degrees, my 2 master's degrees, so that you can believe in yourself and not think that you're a locker number. I mean, I'm grateful that my wife, right? She's executive director of Lawndale Christian Development Program. So somebody give me some money in the house so we can pay some bills. I speak to about 50,000 students a year in high school, assemblies, and churches, and various things like that. And my whole message is that you can be the change that is needed. You don't have to wait until something happens. Like I got a meeting this afternoon with Mayor Daley to talk about all the violence. I don't need to meet with Mayor Daley. We just need to get people on the streets, loving on young people to say, yo, believe in you. And let me walk alongside of you so that you can step up into the person you're called to be. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So I believe in young people so much, I give my whole life to it. So I'm a college adult. I'm a career student in college. In other words, I went to school, I was 21, my wife was 19, you know what I'm saying? Yes, girl. Be with me, I'm your world. She wasn't expecting, wasn't pregnant, anything. We just loved each other, got married. She was in the military, moved to California, went to school there. Went to school in Kansas City, went to school here, took bits and pieces of college, and finally finished at a small college with a undergrad in Bible theology, and then came here, got a degree at Trinity with another degree in communication, 2 master's degrees, 1 in theology and 1 in not-for-profit management. And so all of this, though, is only so that I can get back to the hood on 16th and Drake and say, what you doing out here? Give me that blunt out. What are you doing here? Do you know who you really are? I mean, I'm not going to spit the poem or everything else like that, but the reality is that you can take ownership of your own destiny. Academically, that is one of the main places where it starts. But one of the things I have a kind of a common issue with young people when I'm talking to them is a lack of belief in who you really are, right? And again, I think it goes back to a perpetuation of the world saying you ain't nothing but this, and whether it's somebody you bite on through some MC rhyming it or stuff you grew up at home. My dad we used to fight. I grew up, I had a horrible relationship with my dad. I mean, I think I learned to fight because I was fighting with my dad. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I didn't empty the trash right, he's swinging, I'm dipping, all right. Right? So we had, so my mom is white, my dad is black, but my mom was the one that helped me stay balanced. And I would be like, okay, Mom, I'm finna set him on fire. I'm burning. I mean, I would be that angry and furious. I ran away from home 3 or 4 times. I was out in the street, but I had this all-white Catholic high school that they wanted me to go to. So I'm in this all-white world. It's got to be white-friendly. So I have to know what to say as I'm in the school and I'm talking and I'm raising my hand. So I'm asking various questions in order for me to succeed, and therefore I can. But I'm going back home to my what up, though, and I'm wilding out back and forth at home. And I had all this anger to this one dude who was a social worker kind of dude. All he did was walk around the neighborhood and grab students and go hoop with them. And he began to tell me and teach me how I could believe in myself. I mean, my mom did a lot of that, but because of my anger and my stuff with my dad, I really didn't believe a lot of things that other people said about me, right? And I got caught up in jail a little bit. My dad was a cop, and so I got out of some situations. But all of that was to try to say, look, I am somebody, Dad. You don't have to swing on me. Look, I am somebody, Dad. You don't have to hit me. You don't have to cuss me out. And so what happened as I came to a relationship with Jesus Christ, as that sealed the deal for me, it came to a realization that that's what I need to go back and do. God said, look, go back and change the hearts and the minds of young people the way your mess was. And so that's where my brokenness is. Every day I wake up, I'm trying to find another student I can grab, go to breakfast with, talk to, pour into, and holler at, and be able to create programs to make them believe in themselves or encourage them to believe in themselves as God believes in you in that way. We bought this abandoned fire station in which we're going to teach dance, and sparked by that. My last little story is this. There was this man, he was trying to take a shortcut home, and as he was trying to do that, he was cutting through this park. As he was trying to do that, he heard some screaming in the bushes. These bushes was like a woman's voice was shouting, help me, help me, help me. He heard it, but he was like, yo, I came to take a shortcut home. I'm tired. I don't want to hear and be the Superman hero today. And so as he began to just kind of walk away from the bushes, the voice began to get fainter and fainter and less and less. So he heard it go strong at one point, and then it was, help me, help me. So he turned back around and said, hey, who's up in there? You need some help? What's going on? And he heard somebody run away. It sounded like a man just moving and tugging, and he sprinted off. So the man went around the other side of the bushes and said, yo, ma'am, lady, you okay? You can come out, and the person's gone. Didn't hear anything for a minute. He said, yo, are you okay there? And the person's gone, everything's safe. On the other end of the voice was a girl who said, Daddy, is that you? Daddy, is that you? It was his own daughter. While you and I, or the ways of the world, are trying to cause us to take shortcuts, the bushes are shaking. I need young people who are going to answer the call to shake, come into those bushes and make changes. Whether it's in corporate, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in politics, whether it's in ministry. I believe in you.
Wow.